Board of the. What was that?
The recording is started.
Oh.
On the record now.
I take the opportunity to welcome everybody to the April 1st Dryden Town Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. I assume everybody has signed in at the sign-in sheet, giving their name and address for the record. If not, please do so now. I think we're good. We have one variance request item on our agenda this evening. It's an area variance that is a discrepancy in a physical requirement, which is submitted by, and if I make a mistake with your name, it's not an April Fool's joke, believe me. I had it turned over and I lost it here. Hassan Logic and Medea, I lost her last name. I'll find it. Solek. Perfect. I assume that the applicants are here or an agent duly appointed to represent them. We have all three, okay. And you would be?
I'm Matthew Haney with Korean Construction.
Okay. With that, I would open the public hearing to consider this request. Since everybody has had an opportunity to see the public hearing notice or have received a personal landowner notice, I assume, I would entertain a motion to dispense with the or set aside the reading of the formal public notice.
Seconded. No.
Somebody's got to be first.
So moved.
I second it.
Perfect. All right, let us proceed with the hearing. What we're looking at here this evening is a request for the owners of 82 Brooklyn Road and rural residential zoning district to set aside the minimal requirement of 250 public road frontage, street frontage, which is a request for relief of section. Well, go back to the hearing notice again.
276.1 is the bulk area table.
276.1 of the bulk area requirements. And what we're looking at here is a reduction from 250 feet of public road frontage to 245.65 feet, I believe, right?
0.93.
0.93, okay, so it's a reduction of 4.07 feet of the requirement. At this time, I would ask if the applicants would like to in any way further support or amend their existing application.
We'll have Matt speak on our now.
Could you please, yes, come up here and
Yeah, the request is a fairly simple one. Mrs. Solak wants to build next to her parents. And her father has a larger piece of land, which is approximately 10 acres. And we're proposing a subdivision so that she could build next door, a single family residence.
that's it.
That's the long and the short of
No,
it. Yeah.
that's fine. Does anybody from the public have any questions or comments or thoughts about this project?
When you said subdivision, is it one house or is it more than one house or
It would be one house.
one house?
I might add that this is necessary in order for the division of that parent piece of property to go forward so that that additional home could be built on, what is it? How many acres?
7.32 acres.
Okay, did you get that? Okay, and that's why a variance is necessary, because they don't have enough road frontage to allow for the parent parcel to retain the necessary 250 feet of frontage. I would also point out that this further division of this property is not a subject that is before our authority here. We're simply considering the reduction of the road frontage. I believe the Dryden Town Planning Board has looked at this and made a recommendation at their March 20th meeting. And if this goes forward with our approval, it would be known as a minor subdivision, which would be actually, with the recommendation from the planning board and our variance, reviewed by the planning department chair for a final approval. So if there are no further comments from the public, I would ask if the board has any questions.
How, I don't know if this matters, but, I went out and looked at it and I'm just curious. There's a driveway that goes back. Is that the driveway that's also gonna go back to the back property?
Yes,
Okay.
I think you received an email yesterday that addressed that subject, and I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but
Well, I thought I saw it. I just wanted to
yeah, the planning
confirm.
board made a recommendation that to reduce the potential for traffic hazards on Route 38, that the actual flag lot that is going to be created to address the second lot would in fact be on Route 38. So rather than have that to be a further traffic consideration, the board recommended that the existing driveway on Brooklyn Road be utilized to also access the back lot. And I assume that will be through an easement that should be granted so that the properties ever change hands, that access would still continue. We will be addressing that as a condition of approval if we choose to approve it later on in the evening, so.
you've described their intent with a private drive correctly.
I'm sorry?
You described their intent with a private drive correctly,
Okay, thank you. Once in a while, we get something right.
you know?
So
Go ahead,
I don't have any other questions.
Andy.
I don't have any either.
All right, considering that we've addressed all the, oh, yes, sir?
Interested in being able to see your maps so I can kind of put this in perspective. That be possible to kind of get this.
There's one right up here, you can see.
Brought an extra copy. Mr. Loshik's property is unique in that it has right now about 270 feet of frontage that's actually in the center of Brooklyn Road.
Okay.
And then it steps back 25 feet to just beyond the shoulder, where the neighboring parcel number 4 has frontage in Brooklyn Road. So when you look at his lot visually from Brooklyn Road, you see almost 500 feet. Excuse me, 400 feet of frontage. He's only reducing his frontage by 25 feet so that a flag lot's created that allows this area to be buildable, and their intent is to put the house in the southeast corner.
Does it show, it doesn't show the driveway here?
The driveway's right here.
Oh. There's another path of call it a driveway, but there's a chained off entrance way to.
Is that this?
This is only on a map right now. There's no fence or anything that marks that.
Okay.
We walk this way every day.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. And we agree with the planning board's comment that a drive coming out on the 38th at the corner of Brooklyn. That would not be safe.
That looks good.
More you know, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Are there any more comments or questions? Hearing none, I would close the public hearing portion of this project. And now we, as a board, we will move to an analysis and potentially a decision on this request for the ask for relief. Just so that you are aware, there are 5 review criteria that have to be addressed in considering an area variance, and we will go through them one at a time. And I will read each of them as we move forward. And I don't throw it away. Okay, the first consideration is, in considering whether an undesirable change would be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance, the zoning board of appeals finds as follows. If nobody has one, I do have one in reserve here.
I mean, it's a, you know, if there's such a thing as a de minimis, variance to the road frontage, it's very, you know, it's not, it's very close to 250, the 250 required feet. And I don't think it could be said that that's, given the nature of the small nature of the variances requested, I don't think that would be detrimental to the neighborhood in any way.
Can we save that one for C?
Sure. There we go, yeah.
All right, here's what I have. This is a neighborhood created long before the current frontage, 250 feet of frontage, prior 125 feet. The reduced proposed frontage to 245.07 feet will be consistent with many, if not most, of the current non-conforming neighborhood frontages. Additionally, as the parent parcel and adjacent parcels are heavily wooded, it is highly unlikely that the diminished frontage would be noticed. Everybody comfortable with that?
Yes,
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion to accept.
And I second.
Motion is carried. Number 2. In considering whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other means feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance, the zoning board of appeals finds as follows.
Well, I don't think there's another way to do this. The only other way was determined to be unsafe. The other entrance.
Well, actually, there is no other way to do it because
Yeah,
if the only way to do it would be to purchase 4.07 feet of real estate from either adjacent property, which, since they are non-conforming at this time, would require a variance to do that. So in effect, there really is no other way to do it.
Yeah.
So if you look at the plats, you'll see that the either adjacent parcel do not have 250 feet of public road frontage, so.
I move to
Okay.
accept that for B.
I'll second it.
Do you have that, Joy? Is she still with us?
Well, she has the recording to fall back on.
Yes, yes, I have it. I couldn't find the darn button. We're good.
I thought maybe you left.
No, 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 no. I'm here.
C, In considering whether the requested area variance is substantial, the zoning board of appeals finds as follows. You're up, Andy.
All right, yes, the requested, variance to the legal road frontage is small. We're looking at, approximately 4 feet below the, below the required 250 feet of road frontage. That's, it's less than 2% of the requirement. So I think that in any way looking at it, it's a minor area variance. So it's certainly not substantial.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did we vote on number 2? I can't remember.
Yes, I heard MJ second it. I'm assuming Henry motioned. I'm not sure.
I don't recall if I asked if all are in favor or not.
I don't think we did vote on A or B. We just had a table motion of, I think we can combine the two and
Or we could just simply,
just vote on them.
all in favor of the motion on subject A?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None. All in favor of the motion for item B?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All in favor of the motion proposed for item C?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 0. Okay, item 4. In considering whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, the zoning board finds as follows.
Really changing, the changes to the frontage are minor. And I don't see where there would be any adverse effects, either physical or environmental.
I think you pretty much had it, but you might want to add in that there are no proposed changes to the parcel, the subject parcel. So therefore it remains consistent with what it is to say.
That sounds good.
We have that?
I make that motion.
We need a second.
I'll second it.
You made the motion.
Oh, you have to second it.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Hearing none, we'll move on. Final. E. In considering whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, the zoning board of appeals finds as follows.
Going back to our decision in B, there is no other way to accomplish this, and the other road frontages in the area are non-conforming, and as we discussed, buying 0.04 of an acre or a foot, did you say an acre or a foot? In any event, buying frontage from the other lots is not possible because they're already or not practical because they're already non-conforming. So in I think this rare event, I think this alleged difficulty was not self-created.
I think it has to be self-created.
Yeah,
But
it is.
because they could choose not to do it. But what you say is reasonable to offset the requirement. So if you amend that by saying yes and say that it's reasonable to offset the requirement, the benefits sought is reasonable, I think we could move forward with that.
in further consultation with my fellow board members. I think that the difficulty was self-created, however, the lacking a practical alternative that counts to offset the self-created difficulty and mitigate factor E.
I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, I accept that. All right, now we have to do some other consideration. And the first one would be the application of the state environmental quality review. Which in this case, I do not believe it applies, because if we look at Seeker 617-5C-17. An area variance for a 1 or 2 or a 3 family home is considered a type 2 action and is exempt from seeker review. So I would move that we determine this to be a type 2 exempt action under that statute. But here's a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I also. 239, general municipal review. Is also exempt under. That would be the county review of this project. Under an agreement, by, the agreement of, August 29th.
August 31st, of 2016.
Okay. So this is an exempt action, so therefore there is no input from the county planning department on this project. They would have no interest in effect, so that's exempt from that. It's also not in an ag district within the town of Dryden, so therefore it is not subject to ag and markets review. So it's exempt from that. Now, we move on to a decision. And given the fact that the planning board had a recommendation that the driveway be from Brooklyn Road and not from Route 13, or I'm sorry, Route 38, where the flag lot frontage is actually created. Given that condition, I would ask if there is a consideration to approve or disapprove this request. In other words, that be a condition that be added to this approval, that the access not be from the public road frontage, but from an easement on Brooklyn Road.
I think that has to be a condition.
I would move to add that condition.
Okay. Given that, do I hear a motion to approve the variance as requested, conditioned upon meeting the condition that we just put on this?
I'll make a motion to accept.
All right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Nope. All right, the variance is granted.
Thank you very much.
I think we need to work with Ray on this now to get, I think Ray will put a note on that condition on the plat that you're gonna file.
Yeah, right.
And, well, yeah, all that has to be done.
Thank you for your
Because
kind
he's the
service
final
today.
proof.
Okay.
Okay, we're not done yet. Has everybody had has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes of March 4th public hearing?
I have not, but I was not present for that meeting.
Oh, that's true, you're not eligible. Mike, have you read it?
I wasn't at the meeting either.
Well, you participated in the same way you are today, correct?
Oh, did I? Okay, then I can't remember, Henry. Yes, then I did read the minutes.
Okay, does anyone have any corrections or amendments they'd like to make at this time?
No, none.
I don't have any.
I would move for approval of the minutes from the March 4th, 2025 Dryden Town Zoning Board meeting. You and I gotta do this.
Yep, seconded.
Okay,
I didn't hear you. Did you move to do
I
it?
will move it.
Okay, you are moved. All right, so I second.
Mike, you and Andy and I have to vote on this.
Okay,
I asked for approval. I have a motion for approval and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Now we have, don't go away. We have one more item we have to look at. I think earlier today, everyone may have received or could have received a transition from Gina Cassidy planner, which discussed a request in Varnum.
Yes,
In case nobody's read it, I'll just read it. How's that? The town of Dryden is in receipt of a site plan review, special use permit and an area variance application submitted by John Snyder, architect, on behalf of Angie and William Chen, owners of Varna Auto Service, for a 2,000 square foot addition / expansion and site work to the automotive repair garage at 933 Dryden Road, tax map parcel 56.5-5 in the Varna Hamlet mixed use district. The existing parcel is 0.74 acres or 32,234.4 square feet and contains the existing 3,354 square foot total repair shop and attached office building of 975 square feet. And I'm sorry, and an additional 975 square foot storage building, which was once the Varna Inn. And a 1,358 square foot, 2-story, 2-family dwelling. Busy little piece of property. The owners also own tax parcel map 56.3-2.3, a plus or minus 0.47 acre or 20,473.2 square foot parcel located directly across the road. Where am I? I got lost here. Directly across the road, Route 366 in the Varna Hamlet traditional district. So it's a different district on the other side of the road and has been used as a gravel surface parking lot for the repair business. It doesn't say repair, but I inserted that, being quite familiar with this whole situation from all my time with the town. Preliminary determination is that it is an unlisted action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act 6 NYCRR Part 617 seeker. In other words, it's not a type 1, not a type 2. It's not listed anywhere. So this is just an action that is in addition to the type 1 or type 2s. In an effort to coordinate review under seeker, your board or agency has been identified as having approval authority. In other words, we'd be an involved agency. There would be a primary agency, and then anybody else that has any approval authority under the seeker statutes is what's known as an involved agency. There's even actually a third category, which is an interested agency, which is somebody who doesn't have any authority, approval authority, but they might want to weigh in on the action, just as like a recommendation or a criticism, comment, support, lack of support, something like that. Okay. Okay. Under the Dryden Town's zoning law, these applications are received and decided by the Dryden Town Planning. It is the intent of the Dryden Town Planning Board to act as the lead agency in this review. There's some other things that go on beyond this, but I don't think it's necessary for us to consider that. What the planning board is asking for is for our support. And for them to be the lead agency in the environmental quality review aspect of this project. And then we only, as we did tonight, consider the variance appeal on a lot size discrepancies, I assume. This is going to be good for next month. I've never seen anybody beg to be a lead agency, so in my 41 years here. So if somebody wants to assume that lead agency status, I think we should support that and just move forward as an involved agency in this and leave secret to the planning board. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
You do.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. The motion is carried. We will be an involved agency and the planning board has our blessings to take the unfavorable job of being the lead agency for. I believe that concludes our work for this evening, unless someone has something else they'd like to bring up.
Nope.
Joy,
Nope, all good.
then I move that this meeting be closed.
Second.
Great.
Approved. Yes.
Great job, Henry. Thank you.
Thank you for your participation, all.
Nice job.
Well, it's the first time I've ever done this.
I'm sorry.
And,
Really sat outside for these.